Hello, everyone. How are you doing? And welcome to another episode of the Dr. Will Show. I am your host, Dr. Will. It is good to be back. Not that I have imposed an exile on myself, but the summer is off. So, hey, what do you do? Marathon with Netflix and Hulu. That's what you do. You just sit back and relax and do nothing. Today, we will be talking about getting in where you fit in. And what I mean by that is professional associations. I am here with Layla Allahverdi. How are you doing?
Great to be here.
Awesome, awesome,
How
awesome.
are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
Thank you. You're welcome, and thank you for being a guest on the show.
I'm excited. Glad to be here.
Awesome. I'm still, after doing this show for almost 2 years, I'm still always shocked when I say, "Hey, you want to be on the show?" People's like, "Yes." Uh, I'm like, "Well, let's do this." So it's great to have you on the show. So for those who are watching, will you please introduce yourself? Did you hear me?
Yes. Oh, well, I'll start.
Yeah, will you
I don't know
introduce
how many
yourself?
people are. So my name is Layla Allahverdi. I work at ASCD. I'm a manager of constituent programs. I am passionate about the whole child, about ensuring that every student is going to be successful, and that's what I do here at work.
Awesome, awesome, excellent. Again, thanks for being on the show. ASCD is one of those professional associations uh, that when you look at some of the guests and presenters you had, I mean, you've had the rock stars
Yes, absolutely.
in the game. I saw a talk from Dr. Heidi Hayes Jacob, and
Yes.
then oddly enough, I did a little search, found her, called her company. Didn't think she was going to pick up the phone, but she actually did. And so we had a great conversation from that. So it was just awesome. And to see, especially the talks that you have, because I'm one of those people. I like to get up in the morning and while I'm getting ready for work, watch YouTube videos and talks. Not just like a cat playing the piano or something, but like feeding my
Real
brain.
learning. Yeah,
Yeah, get jazzed up before work.
that's
So,
awesome.
well, thank you. So, as I've said, we're going to be talking about professional associations. So let's get into it. You
Great.
know, there are so many professional associations out there for educators. One, why should an educator join one? And how should educators go about choosing a professional association to join?
Great question. Well, associations can really help professionals enhance their career and continue their professional learning by increasing networking opportunities and broadening access to resources and the knowledge that's out there. So you can easily meet other education professionals and establish mentor mentee relationships. You and I met via the ASCD channel. Educators in particular should join an association that supports their passions and will provide opportunities for growth. I always encourage teachers to join our association and to build a network of support, to advocate for education policy changes, and to have a support system that helps boost morale, avoid burnout, and increase overall job satisfaction.
Mm, okay. So, what kind of networking? Because you talked about this. What kind of networking and professional opportunities can one expect or experience by joining a professional association?
Well, a good professional association should not only provide high quality PD resources and products, but should also continually invite members to frequently engage in networking and skill building opportunities, to build people's professional learning networks, those PLNs that are so important to your career and your success. An association is composed of members, and the relationship should be synergistic. The association and members are learning from one another and increasing the capacity for transformative leadership.
So now this next question is interesting to me because at one point in time, I was, when I first started my doctorate, my goal was, okay, I'm going to work in adult programs. And there was one association that had a great mission statement. It was awesome. And when I went to their Twitter feed, I'm like, they only tweet like 3 days out of the year, out of every
Right.
year, right? And when I called them, I said, like, what's going on? And they're like, well, we only tweet during our conference.
Mm.
And I'm like, hmm, I don't know.
Yeah, that's not enough, not nearly enough.
Yeah, like I can't join an organization. I mean, what kind of benefit will I get from it? So to
Right.
that, how are you seeing professional associations use social media and grow with the demands of a rapidly changing field?
That's a really good question. Social media presents such an exciting opportunity for associations. It's an ability to gather and support a tribe of dedicated professionals that can really be motivated around a certain cause, can maximize meaningful networking opportunities, and help build awareness and movement around initiatives that are important to educators specifically. Um, I'm seeing professional associations use social media to market resources and to get real time feedback from members and potential members. ASCD is actively using social media every day, several times a day, to amplify the voices of educators who are so often left out of education policy discussions or decisions that directly impact their working lives. We try to meet educators on platforms where they're active. So we host Twitter chats, daily Twitter chats, monthly Twitter chats. We provide an online blogging platform and a community via something we call ASCD Edge. So anyone can join. It's free and open to the public and to any educators. And we regularly promote educator blogs, teacher writings, and principal writings via Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, and we're constantly promoting and asking for that real time feedback. So it really is a synergistic relationship.
Okay. So we've been talking about this in general, and I know you work for ASCD, so let's get to it. Uh, what does ASCD stand for, and what is the purpose of the association?
So we are a global community that's dedicated to excellence in learning, teaching, and leading. So we develop and provide programs and resources that empower educators to support the whole child. And what we call the whole child approach is an effort to transition the education field from a focus on narrowly defined academic achievement to a focus on the long-term success of every child in every school, in every community. So we're helping educators, families, communities, and policymakers to create the systems that will be sustainable and will ensure that every student is healthy, safe, engaged, supported, and challenged. Those are the tenets of the whole child approach. We have about 125,000 members across the globe who are educators at all levels. So K through 20, um, any type of educator, they are members. We have 54 affiliates, which serve educators at a local level. And ASCD was founded in 1943. So we've been a really strong organization for a very long time. And I would say the members are definitely drawn to the high quality resources, our accessibility, our ability to bring thought leaders and to develop rock stars and to give rock stars an education, a voice, um, to do what's right for the success of every child.
Awesome, awesome. And I also want to give you a shout out for your, recently you published your ASCD Emerging Leaders List. And it was phenomenal to see the group, but also to see such a diverse
Yes.
group of people, because that's one of the things that we talk a lot about in the ed tech game is all of these lists they come out with, or
Mhm.
these speakers and all these people, and you look and you go, we exist, folks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes. Yes.
we're in this game, and we also have uh, a different voice, a different perspective, something that
Yes.
should be added to the conversation when we're talking about actually working with students and moving students forward in the field forward. So I want to commend ASCD uh, for putting together such a diverse list. It was real cool to see.
I appreciate that. It's something that we are absolutely dedicated to. We are very conscientious about and cognizant of making sure that we are promoting a diverse group of educators, that internally, when we have a group for any of our internal work, we make sure there's diversity in our group. And it's just a passion of ours. And I really appreciate that that you've noticed that. That's exciting to hear.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you again. Now, everyone wants to know, you're joining an organization and it's like, okay, what's next? What's in it for me? How do I grow? So, what sort of professional journals, PLCs,
Right.
webinars, or other resources can one expect when they become a member of ASCD?
Well, we have a large suite of high quality resources and programs. It would probably take a whole nother podcast to go through all of them, but for just a snapshot, the community of members, for one, are dedicated and passionate, and so you're becoming a member of a community that will support your own success throughout your career. But we provide webinars that feature top thought leaders. We have amazing books. We have even a career and job center. The Educational Leadership magazine takes away so many Revere Awards every year, and it's a phenomenal magazine. Most teachers are aware of that magazine, but it is an ASCD publication. Um, and heads up, our summer issue is going to be Teachers as Change Agents, Educators as Change Agents, which is something I'm pretty passionate about. We have PD resources like My Teach Source, which is a classroom focused tool that is a collection of articles, reproducibles, videos, etc. It's all teacher driven. It's all made to be teacher accessible. Um, a really, really great suite of programs, products, and resources.
Awesome.
And anyone that has any questions after looking at the website, I'm totally available for to answer any questions. And so if you put out my email, I will respond to any inquiries too about any
Okay.
particular resources.
All right, so I'm going to throw this out there to you because I'm not a teacher and I'm not a principal or a superintendent. I am an instructional technologist. Now, from a leadership perspective, my job is to currently I am leading and managing a one-to-one Chromebook initiative in 2 locations.
Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome. And so I'm also responsible for designing and delivering professional development to so many teachers in our district. So for those who have sort of my position and may not
Yes.
necessarily automatically look at ASCD and say, this is for me, what resources, what sort of opportunities for networking, for learning, for growing are available to them?
Well, I would say actually most of our products and resources are applicable to anyone who's in any particular role within the education field, instructional technologists included. Our initiatives around the whole child and our leadership resources in particular to help educators lift their voices and reach out to other educators that have influence in purchasing or influence in policy changes. Our conferences are another great resource that provides a lot of opportunity to network and to build whatever your particular goal is as an educator in the education field, even if it's not principal, superintendent, or teacher. Um, you will find a community that helps you reach your goals.
Okay. All righty now. Of those who are watching this show, if you do not know, I am a conference junkie. And I had this conversation with my boss one year because I'm like, hey, let's go to, we're going to go to ISTE this year. We're going to do this. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to say I'm a conference junkie. He was like, yeah, you are. But I am. I love them. So what does a typical ASCD conference look like? What does it feel like? And describe some of the sessions that are offered.
Well, they're all definitely exciting. You can feel that energy in the room. There are a variety of ASCD conferences that are available each year. There's the Conference on Teaching Excellence that is designed to expand pedagogical skill sets and professional growth of all educator roles. There's a Conference on Educational Leadership that focuses on improving student achievement through innovative leadership practices. Again, for those who don't have the typical classroom or the principal role, this is a great conference as well. There is AC's largest annual conference, which we're calling Empower. So when we talk about next year's annual conference, we're saying Empower 17. It can have close to or more than 10,000 educators in attendance, all descending on one city. You can feel the energy and the excitement. We're calling this conference Empower because we're aiming to provide inspiring professional learning experiences that empower participants to transform their schools or to become to facilitate their development in their particular role. Sessions at ACD conference run the gamut, and there's always multiple sessions to choose from. We try to make sure that everyone goes to, if one session that they really want to go to is full, there's another session they equally want to go to and that they have access to. They're always engaging. There's not a lot of sit and get. Some of these smaller conferences like the Teaching Excellence and Educational Leadership could be 90-minute to 3-hour sessions. At the annual conference or Empower, there's ed talks, keynotes, ed camps, panels. We have forums. There are networking receptions and celebratory events, lunches, and multiple opportunities to meet new people. We are very deliberate in making sure that everyone that comes to a conference will leave with new networks to add to their personal learning community. And like you've noted, our keynote speakers we've had Sir Ken Robinson, Pedro Noguera, Carol Dweck, Maya Angelou, just people that really will inspire and reinvigorate our participants.
Awesome, awesome. And in a few years, you can bring me on. We can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think for Empower 17, they are still accepting session proposals until August 1st. Did I lose you?
Hey, are
Hello,
you here?
hey, I'm back. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
Yeah, I got kicked. I was just sitting here, and all of a sudden it was like, ooh, snap. There was on the screen. It was like, ooh, snap, we got a problem. And I was like, oh my gosh, this show was great. I was like, what
It was
happened?
going so well. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
Okay, folks, when you watch the show, I'm assuming YouTube is going to just keep this thing recording, and hopefully they'll be like, oh, well, this is on the show. I was sitting there going like, but I'm glad you stayed. You actually stayed on. Because I still have the stop broadcast, so this thing was still going. So hopefully,
Awesome. Yeah, it still had live on there, but it was like,
yeah. I was like, what? I'm like, YouTube. Don't make me go to blab. So you're talking about the conferences and some of the stuff. Like I love Dr. Heidi Hayes Jacob. She just, for someone who has a name like that, she's just real cool.
yes.
Down to earth individual. I haven't met the Sir Ken. He doesn't respond to my tweets though. But I understand the man gets all kind of tweets during the day. But I'm just like, some people you see and you're like, oh my gosh, do you know who this is? Like, to us, they're like NBA all stars, But yeah, she's just real cool. So before we go, there are gonna be educators going to watch this show, and they were like, come on, man. I'm on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn, Pinterest, just this and that, Facebook. Why should I join a professional association? What do you say to them?
Oh, it's just not the same just being on social media or just every now and then getting one book. It's really, I understand that not wanting to pay for a membership fee. I totally get it. It's just the benefits and the resources and the people you meet and the doors that open when you have a membership to a really strong professional association. Just the benefits are huge. It just gives you, it reinvigorates you, gives you that social network. It gives you that professional network. The opportunities that when you believe you start wanting to grow and maybe write a blog or maybe take more risks in this particular avenue, an association will be there to guide you and to support you. And there's folks like me who just love it when people reach out to me and say, how can I get help doing this? Or how can I get support doing this? That's what we're here for. That's really why professional associations have existed so long and continue to exist. There's a lot of benefits to the membership.
Awesome. Folks, there it is. All right. I want you to join a professional association. Do your research. Check out ASCD. When you are watching this on the blog, you'll be able to see how you get in contact with Layla on Twitter.
Yes.
So, folks, hey, that's what happens when you do it live. You do it live. Thanks, Layla, for being a guest on the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And so you are chilling real late. I mean, I've done that a couple of times at the office. One time I was there like to about 7 in the evening putting extra Chromebooks into carts. Whew. I'm like, never mind, I'm just gonna keep rolling.
It's all for the kids.
It is. I mean, one of the things I love about my job is you're talking about taking students from, the pencil and paper, and as Dr. Heidi Hayes Jacob has said numerous times, once that thing is in paper, it's already past tense.
Mm-hmm.
And so to give these kids these digital resources where at any moment boom, it doesn't something updates in history. Now it's updated for them automatically, and then to be able to create and
Yeah.
themselves produce, which is
Yes.
uh, really awesome, really awesome. So, folks, you know how we do. You will be able to see this show on my blog, on YouTube, and on SoundCloud. And as always, be you, edu, peace.